All right. If you're one of the tens of other people that saw my other videos, I'm going to be back working on my Bronco today. I think the videos I posted are winch and spotlight related. Little update. This is my Bronco I bought last August. As you can see, the spotlights are there. They still function. You'll have to trust me on that. My neighbor's driving by. There's the winch. It's been in use. Works pretty good. I'm currently carrying my camera bag and my winch video I think I did on the kitchen table, and the spotlights I did at my buddy Rick's shop. This is my new shed. It's not very well organized. And what I'm going to work on is my wife and I have been camping using those mattresses, and there's general disarray inside there now. Anyway, this is my cheap Bronco, and we're going to be doing a platform in the back because I don't want to sleep on the floor and I want to be able to store stuff without tossing it on the mattresses. So I'm going to set up a camera and start working on that. We'll see how we go. So what we're doing is I got to take some stuff out of the back real quick, and then I'm going to take some measurements, and I've got a bunch of junky plywood right over here against the wall. And we'll see kind of how we go. Hopefully I can move the camera a little bit closer over there. I don't even know if this thing's showing. It's kind of washed out with the bright outside. Anyway, what I've got is my old foam rubber here. New foam rubber, I should say. Anyway, I'm just going to load some junk and unload some junk, and then probably take that spare tire carrier out, do some measuring. And as you can see, I'm kind of dealing with a little bit of a torque setup here that isn't ideal. I promise I vacuumed this yesterday too. So I'm going to find out if I've got something, a pick or something to unscrew that deal there. That looks like the most suspicious one. It's definitely rusted in there. So let's see what I can do and how I can go with that. I'm a big proponent of power tools, mostly the cheap kind. I think this was $5 at Goodwill. So we'll get in here and clean that up a little bit, and then maybe I'll do this in one shot. This will be a super long video. I'm going to find my socket wrench bag. Here we go. And I have some Torxes in here someplace. So let's see what we got here. I'm guessing it's that fella right there, which appears to be a 3/8. And there are no Amazon links to this show. Okay. That seems really loose. Let's go over here. That's a lot better. Let's see if I can't pull this and not bust my knuckles. That's not good. Oh, doggies. That may stay in. Okay, so after looking everywhere for my 1/2 to 3/8 conversion, I have located it already attached to my breaker bar. So now what do I do with the other thing? Oh, there it is. And I've got another socket that I think might work a little better. It's more of an impact-ish arrangement. And this is going to mess up my tripod. Let's look at that. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to see if a little more leverage will work. Okay, so it broke. Now let's see if I can cheat And I have a vintage Craftsman impact gun from, I don't know, a long time ago. Let's see if we can. And there, working, yes. So my intention is to build something that tall. That tall is about 10 inches. And so it's about 50 inches side to side. So subtract 2 inches from that, and we're gonna get, gosh, I can't even see myself on the screen. Anyway, so 10 by 48, because again, 50 inches inside to inside, let's subtract 2 inches, and my plywood happens to be 48 inches wide, and I'm pretty lazy, so that, 5'6". And let's measure. So the back tailgate on this thing kind of slants inward. And so let's go up here and measure from there. Yeah, that makes a big difference. We're only going to go 5'2". So what I'm going to need to do, is go to my old crappy plywood. And plywood's 48 inches generally. I have some oriented strand board. And so I'm going to cut it about, it's already 48 inches, which is good because I'm kind of a wiggly skill saw person. So I'm going to cut a couple sheets, go through my pile there and find the best ones, and cut a top sheet and a bottom sheet about 5 feet long, and then figure out some way to put 10-inch supports on the sides, back, maybe one in the middle, and then I'll work on building some drawers maybe, or getting some totes. I really like the tote idea because it involves less of my carpentry than normal. So now we can see if my free skill saw works. And if the blade's sharp and that sort of stuff. What do I do with my hearing protection? Yeah, it seems to work. I think. Sorry, I'm back. I didn't mean to abandon you. But I do not want to lose a finger, although I don't know how good these gloves would be for that. And I don't want to lose my hearing anymore. So, can you even see the line? So let me reframe that a little bit. All right. I did check under the table here, and theoretically we're good. All right, so this is sheet number 2. The first one, if you saw closely, how I broke the edge over there, or broke it in here a little bit. I don't think that's going to be a deal killer, but same thing. I put the screws over here to my right with my little screw gun. And what I'm going to try to do on this one is I've already cut that side, and I think what I'm going to try to do is support it so we get a little better cut. like that. Holy smokes, that went a little smoother. All right. Oh, there's one. Basically what I'm saying is I'm a hoarder and I don't throw stuff away, but I'm young enough so that my family hasn't stepped in yet to take all my stuff away. So that's good. All right. That's one down. So I think I'll try to get that center section in next, and that'll give me a little bit of support to bring over the other side. So we'll see how we go. This end's flush. This is my front machine end, basically. Machine cut. That's my not machine cut end. I did leave the little overhang here for the back plate as well, and we'll see how that works. All right, as you can see, I made a little bit of progress. I think that this is pretty self-explanatory. This will be the back side. I kind of messed up. I put my machine edge on the back side, but whatever. You can probably see the curves that I carved in there. Some of those boards down here won't fit. The back side here. I'll squeeze those in a little bit. Anyway, I'm just nailing up the side here, and that was good. I'm glad I got that on camera. This is a do-it-yourself sleeping shelf, or shelf. I think I'm pretty committed to making some drawers at this point. And mostly just because I thought this would be funny, I'm going to film myself flipping this thing over. So it's as a viewer, your opportunity to watch a middle-aged guy try to flip over a bunch of wood and probably be crushed. And I'll be videotaping a whole different kind of video. So here we go. Unfortunately, I only glued one seam on this, so I'll probably get glue all over myself. Oh, that was a little anticlimactic. So I need to get that pushed in a little bit and nail this last little bit. Anyway, I've got my vintage porch paint here that I opened, and it looks a little suspect after carefully storing it in the barn for 10 or 15 years. So we'll see if I can bring it back to life. It's probably a horrible idea. You know, it should kind of shake up a little bit though. All right, well, it appears to be paint, so let's put this deal here. Well, I don't know what that paint's made out of, but pretty good stuff. Bucket of paint here. Let me grab a rag. All right, so I'm a third of the way done, and I'm going to paint kind of the fascia here, and hopefully this all turns out all right. It appears to be drying okay. At least it did on the end of my screwdriver. Up. And we'll see. I think I'm going going to be obligated to build some drawers at this point, because I don't anticipate finding appropriately sized totes, or whatever you call them, I think. And yes, I'm applying this paint super heavy because it's old paint. Let's see how she goes. Well, hopefully I'm in focus. It doesn't seem like it. Anyway, this is my sleeping platform, phase 1. I gotta make some drawers, but I've kind of got all my workspace tied up, so I'm gonna do some thinking on that and see what I can come up with. I obviously got some extra plywood around here, and so I may knock something together this afternoon and see if I can't make something. But I think it's all right. I wasn't shooting for perfection, and I was just using scrap wood that I had laying around, so, and scrap everything. All right, I hung with it. The paint's dry. Hopefully that thing's working properly. And I whacked together a couple of drawers. And another drawer. Gosh. So, I'm thinking it's time. No, that was a terrible throw. Time to take stuff out of my pocket is what it is. All right, now I'm sleek, I'm down. So, I'm thinking that we're going to hand truck. All right, this is going to be super shaky, but this is what we're dealing with here. It, I think came out okay. So what I'm trying to do here, it's not too hard to pull out, although my handle, I don't know if the camera will pick this up. There's a handle right here, right there. So hang on one sec. So anyway, this is it loaded up. Pretty typical. Oh, I see some first aid stuff, air down stuff, air compressor, winch control, parts, inverter, jumper cables, recovery, like if you got a receiver hitch on your car, jack handle, big jack, tool case over there. Of course, Gorilla Tape, leather gloves, the usuals. Ways to make fires, knives, you know, just in general. I think there's a hatchet in here somewhere too. Snatch block. Got a couple more snatch blocks to go in there. Anyway, it'll work pretty good. Just limits my passenger capacity. But it fits kind of as advertised. It's about 5.5 feet long, 48 inches wide. So, yeah, whatever. I think it'll work out just well. Pretty good for a day of $10 in wood and a little bit of time and some galvanized nails. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. This will be the last video on this. So, anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed it. It's just me dinking around. I make no pretense at being a carpenter. I'm well aware that oriented strand board is a horrible building material, and you know, whatever. I was having a little fun in the shop. If it breaks, again, it goes in the burn pile.